Hey, hello, how are y'all doing? Welcome to the Daily Joe podcast, and I believe this is episode number 5. I want to say that's what it is. This is all still new to me, man, so let's get the intro out of the way, and we'll get started. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
And now it's time for the Daily Joe Podcast, August 10th, 2021.
Hey, all right, man. This is just a solo operation here, the Daily Joe Podcast. I recently made a playlist on my channel, so I'm starting to put these podcasts in a playlist. So if you're interested to go watch this train wreck, there's a playlist there, so you can start from 1 up. Well, this gets done, it'll be the 5th. And I went ahead and made number 2? That was oh my God, it was a train wreck. I had internet issues, and I had podcast number 2, rather. I had it unlisted, but I went back and made it public. So I was like, whatever, man. You know, we got some people jumping in already. Let's check out the chat. That's one of the main things I love to do. I love to address the chat because without a chat, you don't have a show. You know what I mean? Wow, we need to go back up here. First off, we got brother R2R3, the Shredder, Chicago Shredder. R2, hey man, how are you? Thank you for hopping in. I know you're at work, and I know a lot of people are at work right now, and my work day will be starting in just a matter of like 2.5 hours, so yeah. R2 says, have a great day, Brother Joe. I'm at work right now, dropping a big hello, love and respect one another. I totally agree, man. Absolutely. And my condolences to you, R2. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into that here, but my condolences, my friend. And if you want to pass that on, please feel free. Let's see. Ed B, man. Ed B's in the house. Thank you, Ed, man. Ed is, I think every time we went live, Ed's been in here, along with some other great people. So thank you, Ed, for supporting the show, man. I really appreciate that. He says, hey, Joe, R2R3. And he also says, I think right here, he says, I'm at work as well, but we'll be listening to the show. Can't ask for nothing more than that, man. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate that. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. We just do this for an hour, and that's it. No more, no less. We have Rhodey, or as I like to say, Randy. Rhodey.
Randy.
Thank you, Rhodey, for being in here. Oh, there we go. The man. My buddy Ralph from the Joe and Ralph show. We'll be doing some of those pretty soon. We just haven't had time. And summertime's here. Everything is wide open. And so we'll do those shows when we can. We haven't abandoned the show. We just haven't had time to do one. So if y'all can just bear with us, we'll get to one as soon as we can. Until then, I'm doing this because it fits in my schedule perfectly. You know, I get that one little hour window, I guess you could say, to be able to do this. Let's see, man. Ed B chimes in again. He goes, I'm doing fine today. Finally, some work to do. Any money to be made. It has been it's been short at work lately, but can't complain today at least. Yeah, man. Last night was my Atlanta trip. I drive a truck for a living, in case somebody's just tuning in or just coming across this podcast. I drive an 18-wheeler through the night, and on Monday nights I have to go to Atlanta. And I don't like that. I mean, it is what it is, but if I had my choice, I do have a choice, but it would screw everything else up for my week. But I just deal with it once a week, and I get that done and get back. And it's aggravating to say the least. But yeah, thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. This is a small show. Nothing, nothing to jump up and down about on this end, I know. But it's fun to do. I enjoy it. It fits perfect with my schedule, like I said. We got Michael Collins is in the house. Mr. Collins, how are you, man? Thank you for hopping in and saying hello. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's very kind. Oh, man. Brody says, it's good to be retired. Congratulations, man. I would not know how that feels, but I can only imagine. Yeah, I talked to my mother about that. My mom, bless her heart, she's 76, so she's been retired for quite a while. But I remember talking to her. Actually, it wasn't that long ago. It was a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And I said, Mom, do you remember your last day at work? Which I'm sure, anybody would. Just like when you graduated high school, whatever, when you finally got done with something and you was like, I'm not having to fool with that no more. I'm done. And I asked my mother if, I said, do you remember your last day at work and then you were officially retired the next day? She goes, yeah, it took a while to get used to because, your body is just geared to waking up, has a certain regimen, right? And the number 2 podcast was a big number 2, Ralph says. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was, man. But yeah, so, and she said, yeah, she did remember. And she said it took a while, like I said, to get to a different regimen of just waking up when you want it or whatever. And so, yeah, it has to be an awesome feeling to be retired. Has to be, man. I can only imagine. Man, Mr. Collins, well, what's he got to say here? What's that now? I'm quarantined. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I hope you get better soon, my friend. Wow. My goodness. He says, yeah, it's been a week. Oh, my goodness, man. Golly. I did hear that the numbers are going up dramatically for, COVID and all this stuff. It's just, I have my opinions about. I got fully vaccinated, and so. I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to take a chance if something were to happen later. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't get vaccinated. That's your own decision. I'm just speaking my opinion. I was at first. I didn't. I was like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. And then the more that people I talked to, and my doctor. I talked to my doctor. Charlie S. is in the house. Charlie, how are you, man? Thank you for being in here. Thank you so much. And I talked to my doctor, and he said, yeah, you need to get it. So I did. My wife and I both, But yeah, so, I just, I hope things get better. It makes you wonder. It makes me wonder in this world today. I'm like, damn. I'm like, on my phone, all it keeps coming up are the pandemic numbers just keep going up and up, and the death toll keeps going up and up. And I'm like, my God. I mean, in my opinion, again, I was like, man, why would you not get vaccinated? I mean, it's just like Russian roulette, and it's, I don't want to play that game, So just for me personally, I got the 2 shots, and yeah, I felt kind of crappy for a couple of days, but I did it when I was on vacation back in May. So that way, if I planned it that way, so if I felt crappy, I was here at home. I didn't have to worry about driving through the night, and because they came to our work, they came out there and gave all the drivers the first dose, and then they came a month or so later and gave the second dose, and I wasn't there when they administered the shots, And then it was like 2 or 3 days later, we had all these drivers that were out because they had gotten sick from that second dose. So that's what told me. I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to line up my second dose when I'm on vacation. And then if something happens, I'll be here, and I'm not missing any work, just, not to get too political here, just my opinion, talk about retirement. Randy, aka Rody, he's retired now, and he's commenting again about retirement here. He says he feels guilty for a while because my wife still works, but I'm 13 years older than her. Oh, okay, well, hey, you can stay there and maintain the homestead, right? And keep things up to par, so when she gets home, she don't have to worry about anything, right? Oh my goodness, am I reading this right? Rody says that the drummer's father died from COVID. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what, as we are all aware of now, it's a lot more drastic to somebody who's elderly, it's what the stats show. And that's scary, man. That's scary. My goodness. Ralph chimes in. He says, hey, man, get vaccinated. Get the vax. Yeah, I agree. And Ralph was one of the ones that talked me into it as well. Just, Charlie S., let's see. He's chiming in on this particular part of the conversation. Same here, Joe. I was totally against the shot until I talked to my doctor. Yes. That's right. Yes. All right. Who we got here? We got, is that Buck Lester? Hey, man, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Welcome. Hope to see you some more in the chat. Feel free to participate, man. Right now, it's just an open forum. We just talk about whatever. The chat kicks off what we're going to talk about pretty much. And then we'll move on in the next half the hour. Let's see here. Ed B chimes in. He says he is fully vaccinated as well. That's great, man. That's great. Rody, he says, yeah, that's right. He does all the chores now. That's okay. That's a fair trade, though, wouldn't you? I would say if I could retire and have a decent pension, yeah, I'll do chores around the house. That's fine with me, Ralph chimes in. Let's see. He has 12 more years, then he can retire. Yeah, I know we're both the same age. I know what you mean, man. Lord have mercy. So, yeah, it's it's just, like I said, you see these numbers climbing and climbing, and I'm like, my goodness, So my mother got vaccinated. She got vaccinated way before I did. And like I said, for the elderly population, it's really, it could be very, scary, in my opinion. My goodness. So anyway, it's another hot summer day here. I'm looking on my computer at the temperature outside. It's 92 with the heat index, and it makes it feel like 104. Oh my God. It's like, man, I have not even stepped outside. What's the point? Why do you want to walk out into an oven? I don't want to do that. And my wife's, she's getting lunch prepared right now. We're going to have sloppy joes. That's what I'm going to have before I leave. Sloppy joes, tater tots, and I guess that's about it. And get on, leave here, drive an hour to work, and then get to work and drive all through the night, Same old song and dance. But, hey, I'm thankful I have a job, and I can pay my bills, and I have my health. That's something that we all take for granted at some time or another. It's easy to do, even though we don't mean to. It's just you get caught up in life. Let's see. Rody says, Ralph, you are a short timer, so I guess you don't have too much longer to go is what he's saying. Ralph said he has been a butcher for 32 years now. I remember that. I remember when you started to do that. I remember calling you after you and your parents had moved away from Charlotte. And see, Ralph and I, we grew up together. If nobody knows, we've known each other since we were like 10 years old. So long time. But anyway, I remember when his family moved because his father got transferred, I believe, for a new job or a new position or something. And I remember calling him, and I was like, hey, man, what are you doing for a job? Because, you know, at that age, jobs were just, you know, you made crap money. You know, well, minimum wage back then was rough. You remember what minimum wage was? I do. I remember exactly. Let's see, 1986, minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. That's what I want to say. So, you know, being a young, or you know, not a young teenager, but you know, 16, 17, whatever, teenager, and you work for crap money, and they have you working on the weekends all the time. And because, you know, you're just a kid. You don't really have any responsibilities, and they know that. So the kids work for crap money. I did for a long time. But I remember when Ralph moved away, and I said, hey, man, you know, since you moved, do you have another job? He said, yeah, I'm cutting meat. And I said, cutting meat? And I was thinking of the meat processing plants like in Rocky. Hey, yo, Adrian. You know, when he was hitting on that damn slab of meat, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you work in a place like that? He's like, no, a grocery store, you know. Oh, my goodness. Rhodey, I think he's giving us a weather update. It's 90. It's in the 90s here in Kansas. Oh, you're in Kansas. Wow, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know you was in Kansas. Okay, wow. All right, man. Yeah, it's hot everywhere, man. Rhodey, oops, let's see. Buckster says the German butcher, I was a butcher for a supermarket for 35 years. Wow. Holy smokes. Man, that's awesome. Rhodey says he worked in a grocery store for 25 years. Started as a bag boy and worked his way up to management. Wow. That's dedication. I worked in a grocery store for like a month. And in the Carolinas, there was a big grocery store chain called Bilo, B-I-L-O, Bilo. They were huge around here in the surrounding areas. And recently, they just got bought out by Food Lion. So now all the down the street, the Bilo, the former Bilo, it's now a Food Lion. And I walked in there, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I said, I'm just going to walk in here and see if they changed anything in here, the cosmetics. They didn't change anything. They changed the name on the outside, of course, and they changed some very minimal things inside the store. But it still looks and smells like a Bilo. I mean, it's the same everything else. I was like, wow, okay. I mean, they're saving money. They didn't, you know, dump a lot of money into the transformation, I guess. So, yeah. Ed B chimes in. Wow, y'all were keeping the chat rolling. Thank you very much. Being in good health and having a steady income are definitely things to be very grateful for, especially these days. I couldn't agree with you more, Ed B. Correct. Yeah, man, you're not kidding. Like we just talked about with the pandemic and all. My God. It's scary. It's scary. And luckily for me, thank God, my job, I'm by myself. I'm in a truck, you know, all through the night. So I'm not really come in contact with nobody, not much at all. It's, you know, it doesn't really happen. Let's see, where we at? Let's see, Rhodey said $1.35 an hour. And is that supposed to be 1966? He's got 666.
This will be your wage from the devil.
Nah, cool. I'm cool, man. I don't want to deal with you. Robert Johnson made his deal, and we don't know what happened to him. So we. Oh my God. Let's see. Ralph the German butcher. He says they gave me $6.50 an hour, so I jumped on it. Yeah, that was well, hell, that's good money back then. You know, because when I worked at it was actually Bilo for about a month or two. It, like I said, it was like $3.35. I don't know. It was crap money. Yeah, I got you, Rhodey. 66. Yeah, I know. I was just joking, man. Charlie S says he has to go. Charlie, thank you for jumping in, man. Thank you for saying hello. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to be here. That's great. Yeah, so it's funny when I look, speaking of wages and stuff, when I this is going to sound really silly, but when my mom was here last week, you know, I'm used to watching certain shows with my mother and my father when I was growing up, being a kid. And of course nowadays, you know, I'm getting close to that point where I'm considered the old guy, because when I look at stuff now on TV, I'm like, what is that? That is stupid. You know, my little granddaughters come over here and they watch it, all they watch is YouTube. You know, that's it. It's just YouTube. And they watch the silliest stuff. I'm like, this is popular? And it is for kids, man. And you look on those videos and they have millions and millions of views. And I'm like, wow, man. But anyway, when my mom was here, we're sitting out in the living room. We was watching some stuff. And I said, hey, Mom, you know what I found? And there was like, I think it was on Amazon Prime. And it was old episodes of, brace yourself. I'm going to show my age here. It was an old episode of this game show called Match Game. All right. And I know people were like, what is he talking about? Well, back then, that was a very popular show. And they had the stars of that era were on there, and contestants tried to pick answers from the questions from the stars on the panel and all this other stuff. Anyway, and it was like,
it's time for another episode of Match Game 73.
It was a big deal back then. So my mom was here, and I said, their Match Game is on here. It's from the very first episode up to whatever. So we watched some of it, and it was like they would play, and then like the grand prize was like they were going for $5,000, you know. And I was like, damn, I'd like to have $5,000 right now, you know. So I went ahead and got on my phone, and I said, what is the equivalent of $5,000 in today's money? And it was like, man, it was I can't remember what it was now. It was I think it was like $35,000 or something. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look it up. I can't remember what it was, but it was a lot of money. So it's funny how inflation changes all that, you know, because when you look at that old stuff, you're like, oh man, a loaf of bread was, you know, I don't know, 50 cents. I don't know what it was. Let's see. So let's see. How much is $5,000 from 1973 to 2021?
Here is information from Inflation Calculator.
It says, so from 1973, $5,000 converted in today's money would be $30,596.40. So that was you know, somebody that won $5,000 on them game shows such as that. It was that was a lot of money, you know. So I just remember seeing that, and I was like, God, I'm getting old, man. I remember these old game shows and stuff like that. It was crazy, you know. But anyway, so enough of going down memory lane. Ed B says, holy crap, yeah, it was a big deal back then, you know. So one of my main things that I love, man, is guitars, music. You can tell by looking behind me. And I had somebody ask me the other day, the lights. He goes, man, those lights you have, is that an effect that you have on like some software? No, they're actual lights that I have setting up over there on my computer desk. And if you look at the description in any of my videos, especially the most recent ones, I guess within the past month or so, if you just open up that description box, you'll see a link for the lights. That's where I got them from Amazon. And I actually got the idea from Ralph, man, the German butcher. So thank you, Ralph, for the heads up on the lights, because I think it's a really cool effect. And yeah, we love cool lights. I think it's awesome. It gives a cool effect to your video and live stream, whatever. You can see the green LEDs I have going across the top of the ceiling. I think it provides a certain ambiance, you know, and I would see other channels doing that as well. I mean, because I was like researching different, just going through random stuff. It didn't have to be guitar channels, just different. And I was like, what are people doing to kind of liven up their there's space, instead of just sitting in front of a bed or something, and the bed's not made, and there's clothes everywhere. I'm like, well, that's just laziness was what that is. I was like, damn, man, clean your stuff up, yeah, see, roadies know. He knows what I'm talking about. Randy knows what I'm talking about. We love lights in the jam cave. Yeah, it gives it it's just a cool, like I said, a cool atmosphere, I think. It's, I think it's really nice. Anyway, so I love the cool lights, and I love guitars. That's easy to see. And so, but something that I've never looked into, is a travel guitar. Have any of y'all messed with a travel guitar? Have you bought one? Have you played one? I've done neither. Never have. So I just, while I was doing a little show prep actually today, I had a little time. I said, well, I'm gonna look up some travel guitars, man, just to see is it worth the money? Is it, what is it, man? I mean, is it Bucklester? I hope I'm saying your name right. It's kind of hard to read the font here. Yes, Bucklester. He says, hey, Joe, I found your channel on Rockin' Dave Byron's stream. Thank you, man. Rockin' Dave Byron is awesome. He's a phenomenal guitar player. And I love his catchphrase, the real deal. He is the real deal. And he's one of the sweetest people you'll know. Him and his wife, Deb, are just amazing people, man. Such a nice guy. So thank you, Bucklester, for being here, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Going back real quick about the lights, Ralph says, he says, that's why I use the light up drumsticks. Yes. Yeah, I love, when you first showed me that, I was like, holy crap, you have to use those, man. I've never seen that before. I thought it was awesome. So, we just take the idea and we'll run it to the ground, We're old guys now, so stuff like that's very entertaining for us. The travel guitars, he says it's a cool idea. He's seen them. Yes, of course, I have too. Now, the ones I've mainly seen are like the acoustic, the small body, and it doesn't fold or anything. I was just like, man, that has to sound like really thin and tink, 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 tink kind of deal. I was like, I've never played one, but it's just, I don't know. I was like, it looks almost like a boat oar, like all aboard, let's go. I said a boat oar, nothing with a train. Anyway, so it just wasn't appealing to me at all. I was like, that the cosmetics of that thing, look, I just don't like it. Just don't like it at all. So I went ahead and I said, I'm going to look some up. And so let's see if I can share with you what I saw. Now, I didn't know these even existed. I told you, man, I'm very out of the loop on a lot of stuff. Let's see, share screen. This is going to take me just a second. I know I'm looking at the, like I'm lost looking at the camera. Let's see. Okay. This here, this guy here, he has a huge channel. I've never heard of this gentleman, but he's amazing. I didn't watch the video just to kind of go over it. Pardon me. And he is incredible. He looks like he would be like out of the Black Crowes or something. His name is Justin Johnson. He's got a check mark by his name. That means he is verified on YouTube. He has 1.2 million subscribers. This video has over 240,000 views. Now he plays the guitar. Let's just watch a little bit. Now this is a folding guitar. It's I've never seen anything like this. So I was like, well, we got to check this out. So I want you to watch what he does here. We'll watch just a few seconds. Again, this is Justin Johnson, and let's check it out. Watch this. Look at that. Good Lord. going to grab another one. So this he keeps playing some more blues stuff, which he sounds incredible. And look at the back of this guitar. There's like a clear piece on the back, because at first I thought, wow, that's all out in the open, but it does. There is a like a clear piece of I don't know, some type of thick plastic or something that protects all that. And I didn't know this even existed until today, and I was like, wow. So I was like, wait a minute. So you fold that up, and I don't know. What do you put it in a backpack or something? I don't know. I mean, it was insane. I never seen anything like that. So let's see. Let me see. Ed B chimes in and says, I've never played mini travel guitars. I've never played one at all. Ed says, yep, that's the one I saw, but haven't seen that Red Sunburst LP version. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen it, period, like today. And Randy, a.k.a. Rhodey, says, I bet it would cost a pretty penny. And I don't know. I haven't got that far into it. I will share another video that I came across. Exactly, Ralph. Great question. Great question. You get the $50 Yankee Candle gift card for today's show.
Yankee Candle, putting the flame back in your love life.
Why are we doing commercials for Yankee Candle? That's crap my wife likes. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, so that's what I was thinking. I was like, now if you folded that and then you extend it back into position, wouldn't it be out of tune? Because it looks like technically you're stretching the strings. I don't know, but I think your question will be answered in this next video clip I'm going to share with you. Yeah, that's right, Rhodey. That's right. He said you would think it would kink the strings when you fold it or something. You would have some kind of string issue. That's exactly what I thought. You know, I would assume anyway. Let's see. Let me share a screen one more time, and I found another video that where it was from. I don't know. It was NAMM. Was it last year or year? I mean, probably year before. Probably 2019. I'm assuming. Let's see, Summer NAMM, yeah, 2019. So it's right before the pandemic was really, really bad. So let's see here. This is the Ciari guitars. So this is the guitar that Justin was playing, and so this is it right here. Let's look at a few seconds of this. Let me expand it. And I tried to fast forward where the guy's talking about it, and he does that folding technique. But listen to what he says about the strings. This is what I was kind of like, uh-huh. All right, here we go.
And so our commitment is to quality first and then convenience. And this is convenient. Convenient like this. Literally, I just detension the strings.
Watch this.
Just unlock the hinge. And this thing just folded in half, fits into a backpack for the first time ever. It can go under the seat in front of you in air travel.
Now show me how you did that again. I didn't see.
Sure. So to play again, all I do is open this up. I throw this lever. I top off tune, and I'm ready to go. It is literally that fast.
Did you hear what he said? I top off tune, and I'm ready to go. So you actually, from what he's saying, you actually have to retune, which is to be expected. I mean, my God, when you're when you're folding a guitar in half. You know, that's just common sense physics. You know, yeah, that is wild, isn't it? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That is. I've never seen nothing like that. Like I said, the other travel guitars were like the acoustic. Now, I did see this one, and I tried looking. I did find a couple of videos on YouTube about it, but people, they don't want to talk about the videos that I saw. They don't want to talk about the guitar. They want to sit there and shred and show their shredding abilities. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Not everybody is Yngwie Malmsteen. You know, I just want to know about the guitar. You know, Sonic Grace, what's happening? Thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you for showing up. Thanks, man. Thank you, Sonic Grace. Ralph says, now I get it. Are you going to get one? No, sir. No, I do not want a travel guitar. I just, to me, just again, I'm just speaking my 2 cents because I've never played one. But to me, it seems like it'd be a lot of aggravation. Now, if you travel a lot and in a plane, you know, taking plane trips and all that, yeah, I can see it because you can carry it on and, you know, you don't have to, I guess, check your bag or whatever. I don't know. And it's, yeah, but I ain't flying on no plane nowhere. I have to work all the time. So I'm always, you know, if I'm not driving, I'm here sleeping and I get up and go drive again. So it wouldn't do me any good. I just don't. To me, it's not very appealing. It looks like you'd be going through a lot of strings or something. I could be wrong. Like I said, I haven't played one. You know, so I'm not trying to put it down. To me, I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to mess with a travel guitar like that. It's a great idea. But something tells me if they're at NAMM and they're promoting that, you got to have a lot of money to promote anything at NAMM to begin with. You got to have some freaking jack. You know what I mean? Who was that? Was that Rhodey that said they're probably pretty pricey? I'm assuming they probably are. I think it would be high. Just from looking at it, I don't see those guitars going for like $300 or $400. You know, I just don't see that. Then again, it could be. I could be wrong. Ralph, what you saying there, brother? Let's see. He says hard shell case works good enough for me. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Yeah, that's yeah. I have a bunch of gig bags too, but and that's fine for here at the house. That's fine, but like if I go somewhere, like if I went to Ralph's and we were to jam or something, I'm taking my guitars in a hard shell case. Gig bags are great, but you ever had a guitar in a gig bag fall over and hit the floor? You know, I have, and luckily nothing happened. But if it's like a Les Paul style guitar with the neck, you know, you don't want that thing falling, period. You want to be, you know, if it's in a case, hopefully a hard shell case. Not that I play Les Paul style guitars. I have a few. But what's next? An inflatable drum set? Yeah. Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah, keep it simple, Sonic says. Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know. You can see all these companies, they're just trying to reinvent the guitar, if you will. I mean, it's like trying to reinvent the wheel. It's like the wheel's already here. You can't get no better than that. I mean, unless you're just going to actually have like a real hoverboard and just ride on air. And I mean, come on, man. I don't think we're going to see that in our time. Not where it's going to be an everyday use of our lives, you know. But anyways, I was looking up some travel guitars. Let me show this one real quick. And this is the one that I believe I saw this one guy review it, and he couldn't play. I was like, why are you reviewing that guitar, man? He was like, hello, I'm going to try to play this now. And I was like, what? And it was horrible. And I was like, oh, it's a 30-minute video. He spends 27 and a half minutes talking about it. And then when he goes to play something, it's a train wreck. And I was like, So you ain't got no business reviewing crap if you play like crap. You know, that's just, I mean, holy crap. At least know how to do some chords or something, man. All right, let's see. Let me see here. We're going to share this right here. I think this was off Amazon. Yeah, right here. Look at this guitar. This is a, I don't know how you pronounce that. Asmus, foldable travel headless electric guitar with built-in headphone jack, full-scale overhead guitar, ultralight, portable, and rechargeable with USB cable and gig bag. So I guess if you want to spend, this is $549.99, and you can see the case. It looks like, it's, again, like a boat oar or something. And I guess you take the top and bottom piece off and put that in there. I don't know. Would y'all want something like this? I mean, I don't think I would. And, well, the downside is if you're used to having a Floyd Rose type guitar, that's not going to happen here, I would imagine. I would imagine that is not going to happen with these types of instruments, Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Can you imagine all the money they're putting into these ideas, and this will be the next big thing. No, it's not. It's not. Mm-mm. So, let's see what's going on here. But yeah, the travel guitars, I just wasn't crazy about myself. Let's see. Yes, Ralph, absolutely. He says he's seen a lot of train wrecks on YouTube. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Wow, this chat's moving. I apologize for the delayed response here. It can be used as a battle axe too. Yeah, that's right. That's awesome. Yeah. Rhodey says, not for me. Me neither. I just, and I'm not here to put down any products. It's just my own opinion. As a consumer, I wouldn't buy it. Ed B says, that's an ugly thing. Would not spend that kind of money on that. Yuck. Yeah, Ralph says, the case is full length, so why not just have a regular guitar? Thank you. I agree. Rhodey, what you got to say there, my friend? The music industry seems to be turning it into a money grab. Yes, sir. I agree. It's that's what I'm saying, man. It's they're looking for that next big hit of whatever. And there's been some things that's come out that's been amazing. I mean, for me, the smartphone. I think the smartphone, when it first came out, I had an Android. When it first, you turn it on, droid. And, they had to get permission from George Lucas to use the word droid and that sound effect when the Androids first came out. So George Lucas is making a pile of money just off that, But when that first came out, I love little technical gadgetry, if you will. I love that stuff. And so when smartphones came out, I thought that was the coolest thing, and I still love it. I still love them today. So that's the one big thing in my life that kind of just changed everything overnight for me. I went from a flip phone, first, cell phones back then were like a brick, and then it got a little bit more compact, and it was a flip phone. Then you could take a picture, and I was like, you can take a picture with your phone? And then it, transformed into this, and then now we have HD. Everything's HD, high definition, and televisions have gotten very convenient and slim, and they're not as heavy. So there's been some great inventions, if you will, I think. But as far as the guitar stuff goes, I know that's two separate things, but I haven't really seen a lot of things that made me go, oh, that's cool, unless it's some effect or something. But as far as actual guitars, I just haven't seen anything. I just, I'm like, nah. I think the guitar is pretty much perfected to its full potential. I don't see how you can improve on that. I don't know. It's just me, So we need to take a quick break. A word from our sponsor. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is the Daily Joe Podcast. Stick around.
Daily Joe Podcast is brought to you in part by Shreveport's Own, First and Last, your place for a cold six-pack or 6 bullets for your pistol. Visit First and Last today. Julio's Place, for authentic Mexican food. Stop by Julio's Place now for fresh fried burritos, tacos, and more. Julio's Place. Julio! Hayes Farms. From farm to table, quality guaranteed since 2021. Hayes Farms. And Rob's Music Store, your place for a cool instrument, a hot piece of ass, or to play some numbers for gambling that night. Rob's Music. And now, back to the show.
Oh, man, thank you to our sponsors for sponsoring this podcast. Man, I really appreciate that so much. Without the sponsors, I don't know what we would do. This show would sink. Oh, my God. Let's see. Sonic Grace, what are you saying there, my friend? That's right, Rob. Rob's. You go to Rob's Music Store, man. He's a jack of all trades. Sonic says, is that quantum guitar with strings of light? Okay. That's awesome, man. Yeah, man. So, okay, cool. Thanks. Sonic says, your sponsors are too cool. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Okay, so my prime time of my life was in the 80s, all right? And so I looked and I said, well, today being August the 10th, 2021, I was like, I wonder what the top, I did look up the top 20, but it come up the top 100 songs this week in 1986. So anybody have any guesses before I reveal? It's going to be the top 100, so, there's a pretty broad spectrum there. But I did look up this, the closest I could find to this today was like August 9th in 1986, so that's pretty darn close. And I was shocked at the number one song at that time. So just kind of go back in your mind for a minute and think, 1986, what songs do I remember from 86? And there's a bunch, of course, a bunch of artists. But so let's see. Ralph says, Hungry Like the Wolf, Duran Duran. Beat It. I think that was before 86. I think that was like 84. Yeah, Rhodey says Beat It. But those are great guesses. I mean, those are great. Let's reveal the list here, because all that time has passed. I don't remember the songs of the artist. I just remember a few. But after looking at this list, rather, before I share it, bringing back, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that song. Let's see here if I can, and we'll share this right here. And let me make sure that, try to make it large as possible. All right. So here we go. List of Billboard Hot 100 number ones of 1986. And it starts off with January 4th. And so the first slot is Lionel Richie, Say You, Say Me. I remember that song. And then anyway, we'll go on down to this week here. Let me scroll down. Yeah, before we get there, but yeah, look, see, How Will I Know, Whitney Houston, Kyrie, Mr. I remember that song. Sarah, Starship. I wonder why they changed their name from Jefferson Starship to Starship. I wonder what was up with that. I never really, not that I care, but it's just kind of weird. These Dreams by Heart. Rock Me Amadeus, Falco. Oh my God, I remember that. Prince, Kiss. Yeah. Addicted to Love, Robert Palmer. That's a great song. West End Girls, Pep Shop Boys. I remember that. And let's see, Greatest Love of All. Whitney Houston. She had another hit song right there. Wow. Well, she had plenty. Live to Tell, Madonna. Again, we're looking at the top 100 of 1986. This is showing apparently the whole year, but On My Own, Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald. There'll Be Sad Songs to Make You Cry, Billy Ocean. Oh, I remember hearing that song all the time. Holding Back the Years, Simply Red. Invisible Touch. I thought that was a pretty good song. Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel. I'll always love that song. Okay, so the big song for this week in 1986 was Glory of Love by Peter Cetera. I remember that was from, like, what, Karate Kid? Was it Karate Kid 2 or 3? And Madonna, Papa Don't Preach. Steve Winwood, Higher Love. Bananarama, Venus. Wow. Take My Breath Away, Berlin. How many times did you hear that back in the day? Like a freaking million. Huey Lewis, Stuck With You. Janet Jackson. Wow, Cyndi Lauper, all those big names of the 80s. That was the and to round it off, Walk Like an Egyptian. Now, of course, when the next couple of weeks would click off, that would walk up the charts. I remember Walk Like an Egyptian was all over MTV at the time. It was all over, man. You saw that video all the time, man. I was like, damn. So there you go. Glory of Love. Peter Cetera was the hit song this week in 1986. Ain't that something, man? God, we're getting old. Old. My God. Let's see. All right, let's play a song before we wrap up. Feel free to ask me anything in the chat. Now is the time to, if you don't have any questions or anything, now is the time. And so let's check this out. The Joe and Ralph Show jams. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Joe and Ralph Jams, man. There's also a playlist for that on my channel as well. If you want to check out all of our jams, the cover songs we have done, just go to the main channel page and go where it says playlist, and it'll have a drop-down menu. And Ralph says, I hadn't heard that in a while. Yeah, we haven't heard that in a while, man. Thank y'all very much. Thank you, Ed B. Rhodey. Thank you, man. Sonic Grace. Thank you. Thank y'all very much. Like I said, you can go to the playlist and check out. I think we have 12 songs. Yeah. And we're going to start number 13 pretty soon. We might have already have 13. Hell, I don't know. Maybe we do. I lose track of the count, man. I don't know. But anyway, so pretty soon we're going to work on the next one. How about that? And we're trying to decide which one we want to do. We've been tossing ideas back and forth. How about this song? And Ralph's like, no, I'm not crazy about that. And he'll throw me one. And I'm like, I'm not crazy about that, man. Because if you're not into it, it's going to show. You know, I mean, it's just the way it is. But if it's something a song we both really like and we want to play, then I think it comes through in our performance. You know, I mean, Sweet Emotion, man. God Almighty, I love that song, and he loves it too. So it's a lot of fun. It's all about playing some music and having a good time, you know. And so yeah, as far as having a good time, I think our time here is ended. I believe we're getting very close to wrapping this up. It's been a quick hour, you know, I would say. Freebird? Oh no, Freebird has been done to death, Rhodey. I mean, no disrespect. I love Skinner, especially here in the South. You know, if you don't love Skinner, there's something wrong. You know, I love Southern rock. I love the Allman Brothers Band and Skinner and quite a few others. And but Freebird, whoo, man, that is a very long song too. I think that song clocks in at like over 7 minutes or something. It might be longer than that. But Skinner, especially when all the original members were, you know, together and before the, you know, people perished in that awful, awful accident, they were a band to be reckoned with, and they still are today. But man, back then it was like, wow, man, they were incredible. You know, so I love Skinner. They got great music. There might be a couple that we can do, you know, from Skinner. I would love to do Sweet Home or Give Me 3 Steps. I love those songs. I kind of went into a Southern rock phase a long time ago where I was trying to learn a bunch of it, and I was in that Skinner phase for about a month, and I'm not going to lie to you, I got burnt out. I was like, golly, man, because you would always hear it on the radio, classic rock radio, and being in the Carolinas and, you know, Georgia and all that, you hear a lot of that, which is great. But man, I was just trying to learn the songs. That was a long time ago. So I went out and bought the CDs. Wow, showing my age again. I went and bought actual CDs. People are like, there's everything's digital now, dummy. Yeah, I know, but this is before that. So yeah. Anyway, all right. Thank y'all very much. Pooh Ninja, is there supposed to be sound? If you can't hear anything, I think there's a problem on your end, sir. I think. I'm assuming that's what it is. So we're going to go. We've hit our hour mark. Thank y'all very much for being here for the Joe Wentz Podcast, Episode 5. Thank you. All right. Thank y'all very much. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.